One of the ongoing struggles that we face as creatives is this feeling of inadequacy. It's just an uphill battle, and you know, a lot of people might know it as imposter syndrome. So what is imposter syndrome? So let me try and explain this how I understand it anyway. So as composers, we're expected to, you know, create music, put it in front of a panel of people to be judged if it's good enough for what they need it for. So you're basically taking something that you made, putting it in front of other people, asking to be judged, and then you'll be told whether it was good enough or not, whether your efforts were good enough for them. So you start with a single idea and you nurture it, and then you keep on developing it, and it builds and builds and builds. Eventually you finish it, and then you pass it on to your client, and you know, that is a showcase of your own sound and your personality, you know what I mean? And you know, a part of you is in that track, and there's only you that would have written that at that moment in time, so you know, it's special. The pieces we write, you know, they're like our kids to some extent. It's a timestamp at how we were feeling on that day, how our brains interpreted the idea of, you know, something pleasurable to listen to. But obviously with being judged comes rejections, and rejections, you know, they are inevitable. We will never win every gig that we pitch for and things like that, but I've noticed nobody really talks about those rejections, you know what I mean? Everyone always, if you Google, like most composers, all you'll ever see is the wins. You'll only ever see the BAFTAs or the Grammys or whatever awards musicians get. I'm not really into that shit. Now on Facebook I see quite a lot, you know, getting rejected is part of the process. Well, yeah, it is, but it doesn't mean it's any good for people's like mental health. Someone's literally putting the heart and soul into something, and then they're literally like being told it's not good enough. You know what I mean? That's gonna have a lasting effect on somebody, regardless of how fickle or how hard they are. I'm a pretty fickle man, and it still gets to me now. I've probably sent, in the past 12 months, probably over like 500 requests for like to work with people or things like that, and I've probably got about 10 back. It does hurt, but you kind of just understand that you just weren't right at that moment in time. It kind of just makes it a bit easier. You should never feel inadequate for it. It's not good for people's mental health to just think that they're the problem, when really it's just your idea and their idea. It just doesn't fit, and that's kind of okay. You could like be the best of friends, and like, you know, your ideas might not be compatible. It doesn't mean that you're any less of a person for it, you know. It's just at that moment in time it just didn't fit. When I see this phrase on Facebook, it just fucking irritates me, because it's like, it's on par with that bullshit phrase that like me as a male has had to listen to time and time again, especially growing up in the Northwest. Man up. All that does is it just basically, it teaches people to just stay quiet and not speak about how they're feeling when they get rejected or something bad happens, and before you know it, they're a ticking time bomb. The phrase man up has led to more suicides in the UK than most people think. You know, I've lost friends because of the fact that they didn't feel they could speak about their emotions, about how they were feeling. And I wholeheartedly believe that it was because of this fucking society's way of saying, suck it up, you're a bloke, you know what I mean? You should be manly, you know what I mean? My arms are like fucking twigs, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like the least fucking masculine person ever. You've got all these people which are sat there feeling absolutely fucking awful, and they won't speak about how they're feeling because they're scared they're going to be judged on it and seen as weak. And you're not weak. You should speak about these things. So that leads me on to the next thing I'm going to talk about. I can always tell when I'm full of doubt because I start to procrastinate. I'll self-sabotage like my days. Like I'll end up getting no fucking work done, and I've only got myself to blame. And it sounds absolutely stupid that someone who's nearly 30 is acting like a petulant fucking child. I'll oversleep. I'll play fucking Call of Duty for like 8 hours straight when I'm there trying to write trailer music, just because of the fact that I'm scared of being rejected. It's absolutely ridiculous. When I'm saying it back to myself now, I'm thinking, Rob, you fucking arsehole, what are you doing? You're wasting your life away, not doing what you want to do because you're scared you're going to be judged. And that's come from years and years of rejection. I'm not the only one that gets rejected every day, do you know what I mean? But it's just like, that's how I deal with it. If that's how you deal with it, that doesn't mean you're a shit musician, you know what I mean? It doesn't make you any less of a person for like hiding away from rejection. It's just, it is part of like showing that you're human, you know what I mean, and you know you are emotionally involved in what you do, and you know just take a day off, you know what I mean, do something for you for a change, you know what I mean, like instead of just career, constantly told to just focus on our careers and overwork everybody and everything like that. But before you know it, you've got all these fucking drones that just look like they look like absolute shit. They've got like a studio tan. They've lost loads of weight. They're not sleeping. They've hardly got any form of social connections anymore because they're just constantly sat there grinding away at the piano. And look after yourself. You've just got to look after yourself. I'm rambling a bit now, but it pisses me off when people just like say that you've got to outwork your competition. I said, well, it doesn't matter. Like, you could put in 72 hours for a client and I could put in 10 and my music could sound better, or their music could sound better if they did 5. I mean, it's the quality that matters, you know. And then I went and spoke to people and they were like, oh, don't worry about it, it happens. And then they exchanged their stories about how, like, you know, a client didn't know what time code was, but they claimed they'd done about 10 feature films before. It goes to show that you're not alone when it comes to all this like bad shit going wrong, and I think it's nice to talk about that. I'm going to do a bit of a plug now, and it's just basically, if you're close to Manchester, or even if you fancy travelling, a couple of times a year, media composers in general, if it's for film, games, or library music, or whatever, we all meet together in this bar in the train station, which is like the perfect place to meet because all the trains end up there anyway. And then we just go to a few bars and we just meet up. We just make friends, and everybody's welcome. So if you'd like to come, I'm going to leave a link below to Composers of the North, and it's just literally we just all hang out, and it's just nice because we do spend most of our time inside a studio with nobody else understanding what we do other than musicians or our clients, and it's just nice to get out. So I suppose the moral of this video is just to basically say that everybody's getting rejected, and yeah, it is part of the process, but it doesn't mean you can't talk about it, and it doesn't mean you can't be sad about it, and I really think you should speak about it. If you are feeling sad about it, you know what I mean, you can leave a comment down below about a bad experience you've had, you know what I mean, or just speak to someone about it. If you're going through this period in your time where you do not want to do what you love to do, then you're clearly not happy, and you need to speak to someone about it. You need to get back up on the horse, because we need to look after each other as composers, you know what I mean. You all have this one thing in common, and that's the fact that you love music. I really think that it's just nice to speak to one another and just get it out of your system. You'll thank yourself for it in the long run, you know. I take days off and then I do just go and play like computer games or whatever, but you know what I mean, that's just how I just like get myself away, you know. I wouldn't recommend doing it if you've got a deadline in like 10 hours time or whatever, but you know what I mean, if it's just a case of, you know, you've come to like a creative standstill and you're not wanting to write music, then, you know, just reach out to fellow composers and just say, look, I'm having a bit of shit time. Most people will just go, let's talk. So if you host a meetup anywhere in the world and you're watching this video, and just leave a link down below, you know what I mean, and just try and get people out of their studios and talking to one another, you know what I mean. Those people you meet could end up being the people that end up getting decent jobs, could end up needing an assistant, they could need a session guitarist. That's how I started getting my first bit of work, and you know, and just help each other. It'll be good for both of you, or all of you, depending on how big a group it is. So if you really like this video, it'd be really nice if you could give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down, but fuck you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon, so then you'll know if I've popped a new video up. And yeah, thanks for listening today. It's, like I said, sorry there's no music, but I really just need to get this off my chest. So, peace.